has aced the new regulations so much so that they have not been contested for a championship since mid of 2022. Though Ferrari seem to have come out guns blazing with the new regulations at the early stages of 2022, with the team scoring race wins on a comfortable margin over Red Bull and having a bulletproof reliability on top of it, which is something that Red Bull was suffering from at the early stages of the new regulation. I mean, Ferrari's hopes for a championship crumbled as quick as it began. From the Spanish Grand Prix of 2022, where the team had to retire Leclerc's car due to a turbocharger failure, if I'm not wrong, a race in which he was comfortably leading over Max Verstappen, who himself was suffering with a DRS related issue. With Leclerc's retirement from that race, Max Verstappen won that race on a comfortable margin on an alternate strategy to counter the DRS issues. Not just that, it was also followed up by a bunch more of reliability issues and self-inflicted errors like the French Grand Prix. Adding to that, let's not forget the strategical errors and the pit stop errors as well. With that, Ferrari lost all momentum to fight for championships. Everyone blamed Red Bull for having made the championship for 2022 so boring, when the real culprit for the championship battle going down the drain was Ferrari themselves, by consistently bottling the strategy and the consistency that they maintained with making issues with the pit stops. So Ferrari was the one who robbed us of a championship battle in 2022. What made that situation all that more frustrating for me was to witness the then team principal Mattia Binotto to constantly deny and defend his team and not acknowledge and try to troubleshoot the issues that the team was facing with the strategy calls and the pit stop issues. In 2023, Red Bull came out with the RB19, the evolved sibling of the RB18. And you know what happened with that car. It remained as a frontrunner all through the season and won all races barring the Singapore Grand Prix. In 2023, Red Bull was only challenged by McLaren and Ferrari for race wins and poles at the latter stages of the season. But till then, the team was basically running their own championship. See, believe me or not, 2023 was a difficult year for the team. As they won the Constructors' Championship for the 2022 season, they got the least amount of ATR period to limit their advantage and to keep them at the back, relatively. But because the team also breached the cost cap regulation for the 2021 season championship, the FIA gave them a penalty that further restricted their ATR period by 10%. This meant that the team has to be wise with how and where they spend their allowance. Yes, I do feel like the team kind of got away with a slight advantage over the field with that whole incident. Though Horner defended the team by saying not one penny from the overspend was invested to gain a performance advantage. But I believe if overspending was from catering and medical bills for employees, it still means that the team used the money that was within the allowance towards the car development to have such a massive amount go over the cost cap on catering and medical bills. I mean, I don't know, I may be even wrong, but this is what I think. But I'm glad that the fine for the overspend was not just the $7 million, but also the team took a further hit of 10% on their wind tunnel time, which makes it harder for the team to hold on to their advantage over the field for 2023. But in contrast, the way in which Red Bull performed in 2023 made the penalty look like it was just a slap on the wrist. However, I still think that having the least ATR period for the 2023 season development was a sizable punishment for Red Bull. But what made it really pointless was the RB18, the foundation of Red Bull's success story in the ground FX era. The team absolutely nailed the new regulations out of the bag. While other teams on the grid had to make changes to their concept, Red Bull was able to fine-tune their concept to extract performance. And the byproduct of that strategy was the birth of RB19, the most successful car in the history of Formula 1. See, to be successful in Formula, you need a combination of a good driver, a good car, and a good engine. But to be dominant in a sport like Formula 1, like how Red Bull have been in 2023, you need more than just a good driver, a good car, and a good engine. You need a good technical crew and good mechanics. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that everyone within the team needs to have the same mentality of wanting to be the best in their business. And Red Bull are just that. Their strategies, pit stops, engineers, mechanics, and drivers, every department of Red Bull operates at such a high level that Red Bull can even win a championship against a team that has a faster car than them by just their sheer consistency across the season. I am aware that this makes me sound like a Red Bull fanboy, but the thing is that I'm just a fan of the sport. And when you witness someone who's so efficient and excels in their job, you can't help but to admire their achievements. For 2024, the team has further pushed the boundaries with the RB20. The car's concept has taken a massive shift over the RB19. Though the fundamentals of the Red Bull's concept is intact, the implementation of the concept is quite radical. So much so that even their competitors can't help but to be in wow and expect the team to be be a second clear of the field at the Bahrain Grand Prix. What makes them deserve every bit of success is that they never settle to be the second best or get complacent. One of the main problems that teams could suffer when they become the benchmark is complacency, that they stop themselves from pushing further. But Red Bull has shocked us yet again by pushing the envelope even further to hold on to their advantage. I know that if Red Bull ends up dominating the sport for another year in succession, that the sport may get boring for an average viewer. But the thing is that you can't be mad at someone displaying excellence at their work. 10 years down the road, when we look back, these dominations and innovative designs would be the ones that we would cherish the most. I mean, if we had to get mad at someone, it has to be on Red Bull's competition for not being able to make that leap that Red Bull was able to achieve. You know, Formula 1 is a sport that carries big brains with big courage, and Red Bull has done just that by reinventing their own concept fearlessly to open up their concept's performance ceiling, which was an opportunity that the competition had missed to close the gap to Red Bull. See, I want the sport to be competitive, and for that, we need to push the competition to explore options to close the gap to the benchmark, and it should never turn into trying to slow down the benchmark space because they are just so good at the new regulations. So for the daring and the courageous exploration of Red Bull, when they're being the benchmarks, if they end up dominating the sport for another year in succession, I would not be upset with them, but I would be more frustrated with the competition for failing to close the gap. So what I hope for this season is that the competition gives it all to challenge the Bulls for poles and wins, like how McLaren and Ferrari did at the latter stages of 2023, and that they push the extra mile this season to further eat into Red Bull's advantage. But if Red Bull still comes out on top, hey, then fair play. Again, that's why they deserve it. So yes guys, with that being said, I would like to wrap up this video and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the Master channel already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit that bell icon while you're at it so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And until next time, it's me Vinesh from Master and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.